Hey guys, my name is Umo. I'm a fashion entrepreneur and pattern drafter. Welcome to University of Pattern Drafting, a channel where I share my expertise in pattern drafting and garment construction through tutorials. This tutorial is the second part in a series on how to draft a modest corset. And to understand what I'm going to be doing in this video, you need to go back and you need to follow the link in the description box to watch the first part of this video. Okay, so first off, I wanted to say thank you. I think I have about 500 subscribers right now. I just want to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed. And if you haven't, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys. Okay, so on to the tutorial for today. I am continuing by just tracing out my dart legs. I have explained all of this in the first part of this video. So if you haven't seen that, please follow the link in the description box to watch that. So I'm just tracing out my dart legs. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on my cup area. So I have 5 panels right now, as you can see. And then I'm just going to go ahead and work on the cup area. So I have marked my darts, so I'm just using my French curve to connect the points. So it would be nice if you can go below your bust points by maybe half an inch so that your curve is not sharp. Do you understand? So at least for that half an inch portion is kind of flat. Do you understand? So it's not just a sharp triangular thing. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the side of my cup. The side of my cup. So as you can see, I'm going out of my circle by half an inch, and I'm also going to go up from that point by another half an inch. Do you understand? Just to increase the side panel of my cup, because the side is usually fuller than the cleavage area. Do you understand? So I just increased it slightly, and I'm just going to go ahead and reconnect that back to the original circle I drew with my protractor. Do you understand that, guys? So this is what I have, and I'm just retracing the point so that it is clear. And then just reconnecting it back. So as much as possible, try to ensure that at the underbust point, at the underbust area of your apex line, make sure that it isn't like sharp. Do you understand? Make sure that it's just slightly flat, so that when you join your darts, when you cut out your darts and you join them together, it wouldn't be like oval. Your cup area wouldn't be oval. Do you understand? So I just went ahead and joined that 0.5 thingy that I did there to the top of my circle. So at my center front, I'm going up by 2 inches. You can use 1.5 inches or 1 inch, just depending on how modest you want your corset to be. And then I am going in by half an inch. Do you understand? So I just have that half an inch flat thingy at my center front area. So I'm just going to go ahead and reconnect that back to my circle. And then just connect that point to the top of my circle. Can you see that, guys? So just reconnect that to the top of the circle that you had drawn earlier. So this is what I have. That is my cup area. So you can just go ahead and label it so that you don't, when you cut it out, you don't get confused. Do you understand? So also I am going to, I'm going to be using, my corset is going to be laced up. So I'm going to be creating reducing the length of my corset essentially. So see what I have done. I just used my curve ruler to connect it back. So the difference between this corset and the other corsets that are not so modest is that you drop this your center back by about 2 inches or 1.5 inches, but in this case I did not drop it. Okay, so this is me reducing the length of my corset because I want to be able to lace it up and have a more have it cinch the waist a lot more. So that is 2 inches at the top of my center back, sorry. And I'm just using a diagonal line. Can you see, to connect that to the bottom edge of my corset? So please note, guys, for regular corset, you can drop the center back by about 2 inches. But for this, because you don't want it to be too exposed, and because this is for like a bigger size, like a plus sized woman, I did not drop the center back, just so that it doesn't create that I think it's called crow's, no, not crow's feet. It just creates this extra lump of flesh at the upper back. I don't know if you understand what I am trying to say, but if you do, then if you know, then you know. Okay, so this is me just labeling my corset pieces just so that I don't get confused. And I have labeled my panels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you understand? So that is what you can see me doing here. So I'm just trying to explain that the difference between this and regular corset is I could have dropped that center back by about 2 inches or 1.5 inches. Do you understand? So in this case, I did not do that. So as for the bottom of my corset, just because I want to ensure that I don't have any folds at the back, I just reduced that length by 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to use a diagonal line to connect it to, just the line for my second panel. Do you understand? So it's just a diagonal line. It's just funny enough, you really don't even have to do this. You can skip this if you feel like the length of your corset is okay. And I hope you guys know how to take the measurement for the length of your corset. If you are not following my Instagram page at University of Pattern Drafting on Instagram, you should actually follow that page, because I share information on that page that might help you understand the YouTube videos that I do better. Do you understand? So this is me cutting out my pattern pieces. So watch how I am going to cut this out, guys. So you cut around the cup area and all that and all that. Okay, so I am done cutting and I'm going ahead to create the modesty panel. Can you see that? So for the modesty panel, your modesty panel is going to be 1 inch shorter than the length of the center back of your corset. Do you understand? And then it's going to be about, I think, 10 inches wide. So reduce it, measure the length of your corset, and then, so I'm measuring the length of my corset. Can you see that? I think that's about 11 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and this is the width. Okay, I'm using 8 inches for the width, guys. So 8 inches for the width and 11 inches for the length. So that means the length of the corset was actually 12 inches, guys. So I'm just creating a rectangle. So first create a rectangle, and then now I'm going to use, because you know the last panel, the center back of my corset is actually slanted. Remember that we reduced the top, the width, the length of the corset by 2 inches at the top, and then we just use the diagonal line to connect it to the bottom of the corset. So I'm trying to recreate that diagonal line. So can you see? I'm just going to place my paper. So since it's 1 inch shorter, that means that at the top is half an inch shorter, and then at the bottom is half an inch shorter. Can you see? So I've recreated that diagonal line. What you can actually do is just remeasure from this edge. Just measure 2 inches, you understand? And then just use a diagonal line to reconnect. It's not that much of a big deal. So this is my modesty panel. And that's how to create the modest panel. It can actually be shorter. It can be 6 inches. Do you understand? It doesn't have to be as wide as 8 inches. It just depends on what you want. So between 6 and 8 inches is perfect. But it has to be shorter than the length of your corset by about 1 inch or maybe 2 inches. So this is my modesty panel. So this is the end of this tutorial, guys. If you haven't subscribed at this point, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And if you are not following our Instagram page, my Instagram page is at University of Pattern Drafting. Make sure that you go on Instagram and follow that page, because I also share useful information that might help you understand the videos better. So these are all my panel pieces. So 1 2 3 4 5, and then this is my cup area, and then this is my modesty panel, guys. So in cutting this out on fabric, just include half an inch allowance all around all of the pattern pieces aside from the center front. So even on the cup area, half an inch allowance all the way around, guys. So thanks for watching, guys. Have fun. Bye.